information here. This is Google's guide, and this is another newspaper. Tom's Guide is the name of that. If you go to docs.google.com and make sure you're logged in, your ID, you authenticate it. I'm not sure if you're available. If you have a Google ID, you have 15 gigabytes of data on Google's cloud server. And this is where Google Docs tries to store all of the information, is on G Drive, Google Drive. But if you, this is where you create a document, and this Google Suite, they call it, Google Suite of documents, which is Google Docs, Gmail, there's slides and numbers. There's a whole slew of software that's part of the product, are used by virtual organizations. I brought this up last week. If you remember back to 2016, one of the people working on the Clinton campaign had their email hacked. And what was it that got hacked? The Google Doc got hacked because one of the campaign people, I think it was a Podesta, used an unsecure password, just a lightweight password that wasn't very long that he could easily remember. And they guessed it. The organization guessed it. But the point I'm trying to make is Google Suite of product was the software used by the Clinton campaign. You know how many thousand people were on that campaign? And they were all using Google Docs underneath the Hillary for President campaign. So you hit create a new document, it comes up. This is what it gives you. If you're in the trusted campaign, it's create a document. Help me write is available. Notice this icon. This is an icon that in the next year, everybody's going to come to identify with. Help me write. You can see it much larger. Look at all the information on this screen. You can change the document title. It will show where it's saved. Slide 11 is going to show you all of the word processing menu. Here's the ability to share. If you worked in a virtual organization, you could text with the people in the organization, or you could have the equivalent of a video conference with the people. There's Google Meet and Google Meeting that is the same as Zoom, what we're doing. It's not quite as good as Zoom, but it's available. I do use share, give documents to you all. And young people see this screen and they'll make sense of it right away. People our age, the mature learner, we don't process information as quickly as the young people do. That's why I put this information up here. If I let me go back. And can I go back? I guess I can't go back. Go back one slide. If I hit help me write, if I click on help me write, or if I click on this icon right here, the pencil with the star in it, why isn't that working? That's strange. It brings up this screen. When I hit help me write, prompt entry box comes up. It's a large little area that it takes up. I guess it's a guide for the new people to using it. And that here is the proposal that I entered. Here's the prompt I entered. Once I start to enter it, the create button lights up. Notice it's not lit up here because I haven't entered, but once I enter it, brings this up, ready to go. This is a bit confusing, but it's part of the trusted tester. They present you with different appearances of the help me write screen. So this is another screen that it looked like when it helped me write. I couldn't tell you why they appear up differently, but they do. Then this is the indicator that it's processing my prompt, it's generating a inference. It's statistically measuring what's a good response from the wealth of human information it knows. And then it presents this to me. Oh my God, look at all this information. I can't figure it out. Well, young people can. That's who this is directed at. It's directed at a 35-year-old who's in a remote work site with people around the country, people around the world. They are coming online in the morning and they're working with the people in Dusseldorf and the people in South Africa and Johannesburg and the people, Bangalore in India. They're all seeing this same screen and they're conferencing together on this proposal. This is how they're putting it up here. This is where they're saving it to a shared drive, file, directory navigation. Here's the sharing. This is how the guy or the gal in charge would share the document with all the people. This is the conference where they would have it. This is where you can say, oh, let's run another iteration of this doc. This is where the people could vote. This is where you can put a cover image to it. Here on the right side are all of the Google app. How does a human being of our complexity remember all this stuff? I just can't figure it out. But here's a little bit simpler. This was the idea of generating a cover image. I clicked on that in the Google Doc. This was the inference or the response to my proposal about adult education. Created an outline for it. Here's the way it presents my prompt box to generate a cover image. Here it is a little bit simpler, just plainly listed. I put a title in. Where am I saving it? All of the menu items. When we look at all the menu items, this is portraying it as a document for distribution to the entire campaign worldwide. And this is the menu structure that is available in Google Docs. And what I wanted to show here, you can make Google Gemini, that's their AI. Look at where they're putting this. Create a new cover image for your document. Imagine a high school kid wanting to put a pretty picture on the paper they're going to submit to their teacher. This is a full-fledged word processor Google makes available, and they've integrated AI into it. That's item one of the document, the suite of products that has AI integrated into it. Gmail. Here's, again, a Gmail screen. Excuse me if there's anything here that is offensive. I don't think there is the items are Google Mail. I'm in a browser. Notice this is Google Gmail in a browser. I think on your phone, isn't there a separate app? Maureen, if there's questions in the chat, if you could let me know. If I'm going to hit compose here in a second, and I'm going to have the AI compose. Notice this icon. This is the AI icon, and I've discovered all this does is ask you for $20 a month. Notice I'm in a tab in the browser, and my user authentication is right. But
okay, there are some questions.
Okay, let's go to the questions, please.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. I got behind here. It seems like, oh, wait now. I'm on the wrong day. January 29th. That's not today. How did this happen?
I use the same ID for all of the sessions.
Okay, so Anne says, forget weather forecasting. What about stock prices?
Is AI used for stock prices? I can guarantee you that it is. But you've got to have beaucoup dollars to do it. So these big firms, the hedge funds, they are running AI analysis on an ongoing basis. They have built agentic AIs that execute trades automatically. So when an AI sees something happening in the market, so it's exposed to the flow from the New York Stock Exchange, the data flow from the New York Stock Exchange, it sees something happening. It says, oh my God, this fits pattern XYZ. I'm going to do task ABC because XYZ has been done. And that is but that particular AI costs $10 million to build. It's got all of the stock market data that's been collected to use as its training corpus. It has back tested, back propagated. So when a certain scenario happens, what occurs? So yes, I can guarantee you that's been done, and tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars are being used to train these stock market AI. Yes, it's being done. I guarantee it.
And John K. Johnson want to know how you can tell that the image is AI generated.
Good question. If you look closely, you learn what the AIs cannot do well. One, the AI companies are trying to embed or to place somewhere in the picture information that states it's AI. There's a capacity within digital images. I think the term is steganography, Stegen, steganography, that embeds in the picture, the digital image, information that humans cannot perceive, but it declares, if you have the software to look at, that it's a AI generated image. So that is what catches a lot of the fake images on X or what's Instagram or Facebook. That's what they're using for a lot of those images. But if you look at it closely, AI has difficulty with faces. It has difficulty with the human body proportions. It does hands poorly. If you look at the hands of AI generated images, it does well. The color generation of AI images, it can be perfect. And taking a photograph or an image, you can't get perfect color. So the AI can be too perfect, whereas reality has flaws. So you have to be able to identify the flaw. Text generation is perfect in the AI world. There's no grammatical errors, no spelling errors. Humans don't do that very well. So that's another way. Any others here before I go on?
No, I
Any
would
other?
go ahead. You can go forward.
This happens to be when I clicked, remember, I clicked on Pose. I went into Google Mail. I logged in, I clicked on Compose, and what it does is open a little window right here. This little window right here is what it opens up. And because the browser is a programming formula and it knows it's me, it can say, I'm a trusted Google tester. It can say, put this in his email when he starts to compose. Help me write. This is what it looks like. You've probably seen this if you use Google Mail. Notice down here all of the tools that are available to help you. What's this one right here? Help me write. And then if you want to make the window larger, you click the arrows larger. I think I do that on the next one. Notice how I've enlarged the window because I need a bigger area to write my stuff. Note that Help Me Write is still in it. Look at all these tools down here. This is too much for me my mind is, I'm too old, it's too full. I can't put all this stuff in it. So here I click Help Me Write. It opens up a prompt entry box at the bottom, and I enter down here at the bottom of the message. Notice that I've clicked on the Help Me Write. It's opened this up. Here's the symbol that is telling me this is the text entry prompt, the prompt entry box, or the prompt inference that I want to have. So here it is. Please compose, this is me having entered it. Please compose an email message as if you were a master negotiator submitting a proposal for consulting. The email is to Markle. He's the principal in the division staff asking for training about artificial intelligence. I want the message to hide the fact that I'm very in the proposal. Let's see if it can do the sentiment integration can it integrate human sentiment into an email? This is how Google shows that the message is generating. It's generating an inference. It's doing the statistical measuring. Again, it's just doing a statistical model. Here is what it proposes. Here are the items that I can use as a user to refine the information. One is recreate this email. Here's this is not inserted the message yet, but I can make the message more formal. It can elaborate or basically lengthen the email. It can shorten it. Just by clicking on this, it will redo it. And then once you say, well, this is pretty close, let's insert it into a message. And I can tell you, folks, if you end up using this, you absolutely must reread your message again before you send it. So I click insert. Here's the message. It is imperative that all AI generated email messages be read, reread, and edited before sending. AI generated messages often have unusual errors, only corrected through careful reading and editing. So what was the thing I read a message back with was what we had people in our office do. The director would put together a message, it would be rewritten, it'd be rewritten again, and then they'd give it to me, and I had to read it back to see if I found any errors by reading it back, because this was going to go out to 100,000 people. So you reread this stuff. I can guarantee you, people, if you don't, you're going to embarrass yourself. I tell you that from experience. Here's the message that was generated. It's going to send it to people. And there I re-emphasize, reread your stuff before you send it. And now here's the person that gets your message. You've generated the message in artificial intelligence and send it to Mr. Olson. Mr. Olson gets the message. What can he do? Well, he's got AI. He's got the Gemini Workspace is what Google is calling it. Google Workspace. When he receives it or she receives it, look what's at the top of their email. Summarize this email. Imagine knowledge workers, people who are in offices that deal with emails day in, day out, or writing text messages day in, day out. They can summarize now their messages, even if it saves them 10 minutes per message. If they have 100 messages a day they're looking at, do the math on that. That's how many? That's 100 minutes. That's 2 hours. They're saving 2 or 3 hours worth of information that here's what a summarized message looks like. It opens up a little box on the right side. Here's the summary of the email. Jim Gerard expresses interest in providing AI training for Mr. Olson, 75 employees. Show me a longer summary. Imagine it is a proposal, RFP, request for proposal. You've submitted a 5-page document for that proposal. Is the person receiving it going to read the whole thing? Nowadays, no. They're going to be using a tool like this to summarize it. Oh, is this interesting? Show me a longer summary. Show me the 5 points in here so Mr. Olson can have AI read your message and generate information that he wants or she wants. This is where it is nowadays. I mean, I can imagine in offices, this is just immense. And you can respond. Not only is AI available in the message itself, but you can respond to the message. Look at here, I clicked respond and then enlarged the little box that opens up at the bottom. This is an enlarged portion down here. Notice the icon. If you walk away from 1 hour today, you've learned what this icon is. But notice in the response, help me write. You can write a response. Question is, does the AI know what the person originally wrote to you? I don't know the answer to that. Can it read the message that you're responding to and generate based upon an understanding of the message that you receive? I don't know the answer to the question, but here it is. Help me write. Upon selecting help me write, it puts a little box down at the bottom.